If you've spent any time following K-pop, you've probably heard about some of the so-called curses that seem to haunt the industry. One well-known example is the six-member curse. This refers to the trend where groups with 6 members often face tough challenges, like suddenly losing a member or even disbanding altogether. Hype girl groups often come to mind here, like LE SSERAFIM, who had to say goodbye to Garam after her infamous mistreatment scandal, and KOOKIELIT, who lost their 6th member even before they officially debuted. Then there's the SM Entertainment boy group curse. This one affects SM 7-member boy bands, where one member tends to leave early on. Groups like WayV, Rise, and NCT Wish have all seen this happen. On the lighter side, some fans talk about the rosé curse, a superstition about Blackpink's rosé. People jokingly believe that whenever she takes a photo with someone, that person's relationship soon falls apart. But the most famous curse might be the 7-year curse. This one is about groups reaching the 7-year mark only to face disbandment or losing a member. It's a pattern many fans have noticed affecting some of the most loved groups in K-pop. While not every group is affected, as some have gone strong well past 7 years, the reason is mostly practical. 7 years is the typical length of a K-pop contract. When it ends, many groups don't renew or members leave, making the curse feel all too real. This curse actually had a few different names over time. Originally, it was basically the 13-year curse. That goes back to 2009 when 3 members of TVXQ took SM Entertainment to court. They argued that their 13-year contract was way too long, too controlling, and that they weren't getting a fair share of the money they helped make. The very next year, in 2010, South Korea's Fair Trade Commission, or the KFTC, stepped in and set a new rule that entertainment contracts couldn't last longer than 7 years. Then, in 2017, the KFTC tightened things up even more. They lowered the penalties for idols who wanted to leave their contracts early and made it harder for companies to force artists into renewing those contracts. Before the 7-year rule, some people even talked about a 5-year curse, a worry that groups would hit a rough patch after 5 years, leading to breakups or scandals. But now, with contracts capped at 7 years, the 7-year curse is what everyone talks about. For idols from the 2nd generation onward, the real goal has become simply lasting past that 7-year mark and renewing contracts with the original lineup still intact. The concept of a curse in the K-pop industry has become a hot topic because numerous well-loved groups have struggled with it throughout the years. Groups such as EXO, Miss A, Pink, Girls' Generation, Super Junior, and 4Minute all enjoyed impressive success but ultimately disbanded or lost members over the years, catching fans off guard and causing disappointment. Just last year, we lost a number of amazing groups such as Cherry Bullet, Wakey Meki, Nature, and Pink Fantasy, among others. While fans still hold these groups close to their hearts, there's a silver lining. An increasing number of newer groups are managing to surpass the critical 7-year threshold without breaking up. It's worth noting that many K-pop acts don't even make it past their first 2 or 3 years, so reaching 7 years is quite an accomplishment. But if staying together beyond that point sounds straightforward, the truth is that only a small fraction of groups have succeeded in doing so, raising the question, why is it so tough for K-pop groups to endure? Well, the main reason so many groups struggle to survive past the typical contract period boils down to a harsh reality. Idols often can't wait to break free from their contracts because the conditions they face are really challenging. Despite some progress in the industry and improvements in idol rights compared to the past, the day-to-day experience for many artists remains far from ideal. Whether they belong to big, well-known agencies or smaller companies, idols frequently speak out about difficult working environments, low pay, a lack of financial transparency, and sometimes even outright mistreatment or exploitation. These factors make it understandable why, when their contracts expire, many idols decide not to renew. In some cases, it's not even a choice, as the companies might not offer a renewal at all, choosing instead to focus resources elsewhere due to the fast, cutthroat nature of the K-pop industry itself. Over the years, the number of groups debuting each year has skyrocketed, flooding the market with new talent, styles, and concepts from every possible genre. While this makes the scene exciting and diverse for fans, it also creates an incredibly competitive environment. Many groups find it difficult to keep up with the rapid pace of promotions, constant comebacks, and the demand for content. Others, despite their efforts, get overshadowed by newer, trendier acts and fade from public attention. When their standard 7-year contracts end, companies often see these groups as past their prime or no longer profitable enough. From a business standpoint, it's easier and more cost-effective for agencies to let go of these older groups and debut new ones, essentially hitting reset and chasing the next big success. This cycle, while tough on the artists, helps explain why lasting beyond 7 years in K-pop is still such a rare achievement. For many 2nd and 3rd generation idols, especially those from smaller or mid-sized agencies, the decision to step away often comes down to simply feeling like their time as idols has passed. For years in the spotlight, a lot of them want to explore new paths. Some shift their focus to different parts of the entertainment world, like acting, where age is isn't as much of a barrier. Others see the end of their idol contracts as the right moment to finally prioritize their personal lives, whether that means getting married or starting a family, things they couldn't easily do while actively promoting as idols. Then there are those who decide to leave showbiz altogether, opening cafes, restaurants, or diving into totally different careers. Since the industry and many fans tend to see idols as too old once they hit their 30s, it's understandable why many choose to move on rather than try to keep up with an image that no longer fits. Over the years, K-pop fans and netizens have become increasingly harsh and critical, often blowing things out of proportion and sparking unnecessary controversies. These incidents sometimes force members to leave their groups or cause groups to disband earlier than intended. For instance, Hwarang from Tempest left the group just 2 years after debut, not due to any criminal behavior or mistreatment scandal, but simply because he was seen at a club with friends. Similarly, Seunghan of Rise had to leave after private photos of him dating before debut were leaked online without his consent. Fortunately, not all scandals end with a member quitting. Often, the popularity of the idol or group helps them stay intact despite the drama. Still, many of these controversies don't really make sense. Remember when aespa's Karina was forced to apologize just for dating? When even the biggest idols in the industry have to publicly apologize for normal personal choices like dating or going out clubbing, it's no wonder that it's so tough for groups to keep every member for a full 7 years without losing someone along the way. Thankfully, idols are starting to find ways to dodge the dreaded 7-year curse. One popular approach is for members not to renew their contracts with their original agency, but still come together to keep the group alive, often signing with different companies for their solo work while continuing group activities on the side. GOT7 is a perfect example. They faced tough times under JYP Entertainment, so tough that many fans weren't surprised when the members decided not to renew their contracts and pursued solo careers elsewhere. Despite being with different agencies, the members still reunite regularly to release new music, putting out 2 mini albums and a single, and even holding concerts and events together. Mamamoo follows a similar path. Even after Hyun and Hwasa left RBW, the group continued to have comebacks and do group activities. Blackpink's members also branched out to different companies, enjoying successful solo and acting careers, yet they plan to release new music and go on tour this year. More recently, Everglow almost fell victim to the curse too. As they approached 7 years, Yuwa Entertainment announced the members wouldn't renew their contracts. Fans feared the group might break up, but the members quickly reassured everyone they would stay united and are actively searching for an agency that supports their full group comeback. This new trend is giving hope that the 7-year curse isn't as inevitable as it once seemed. Another way groups are dodging the 7-year curse is by reuniting after some time apart, a trend that's becoming more common lately. Take 21 for example. They officially disbanded 7 years after their debut, with each member going their separate ways. The split wasn't even handled well by YG Entertainment. Fans found out about the disbandment late, and the members themselves weren't informed properly. So many assumed the group was done for good, but the members clearly missed performing together. They reunited for a legendary Coachella show and recently went on a sold-out tour, sparking hope among fans that a full comeback might be on the horizon. With several second-generation groups making strong comebacks over the past few years, it wouldn't be surprising if other groups, once considered finished, suddenly return with new music or tours. Could this mean the so-called 7-year curse is finally losing its grip? Unfortunately, it doesn't seem so. The K-pop industry, its fans, and the public are always chasing the next big thing, the newest, flashiest group and artist to follow. Because of that, older groups often get pushed aside, fading from the spotlight. When their contracts end after 7 years, most either disband or quietly disappear from public view. But here's the silver lining. K-pop's growing worldwide popularity is helping idols stick around longer than ever before. Thanks to a massive fan base spread across continents, groups that might not be huge in Korea can still find steady support overseas. This international reach gives them new ways to stay active and succeed beyond that critical 7-year mark, even if they're no longer topping Korean charts. So while it's true many groups eventually end their initial run, more and more are managing to break free from the curse. With the industry changing, global fans backing them, and fresh comeback strategies in play, the 7-year curse might be fading away faster than we thought.